Good morning. It's 11:06 a.m. We're going to take a look at a few things in this update. And first of all, we're going to take a look at our 200 millibar outlook for the Northeast. So again, we have some high pressure moving through. We're going to have some rain chances over the next several days, but nothing really drastic. Let's take a look at our GFS snowfall output. Now, we had some snow here in Cleveland. We had about 3 inches, maybe four, maybe, yeah, three. I'm looking outside right now, maybe 2 to 4. I don't know, somewhere around there. But, anyways, we had some good lake effect come through. And then here we have another system by Saturday come through, and then another one by Wednesday. And notice here in Maine, we have up to 20 inches. So winter's not over yet. I wouldn't say by a long stretch, but it's coming to an end pretty soon because we're getting up there and closer to spring. It's March 19th right now, so I do want to do a little review over the Jamstack weather model, because again, that is that latest run just came out, the fresh run for March. Here's our April through June forecast. Again, an El Nino forming. Let's take a look at the progression of the El Nino. Strengthens in June through August. And then by September through November, it's pretty fully blown out. We do have pretty significant El Nino on our hands. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to look at the pattern for typical El Nino. And we're going to take a look at that. So let's take a look at summer outlook. We'll take a look at that. Here we go. Perfect. So here we have an El Nino, warmer equator ocean temps, as most of you know. What that causes is the polar jet stream to be lifted up farther north and the Pacific jet stream to be, south, right along the Gulf Coast. So tend to get a lot of precip right along the Gulf because that activates the Gulf jet stream, the southern jet. So anywhere from California, Southern California, I should say, to New Mexico, to Texas, to Louisiana, to Florida, it's going to be wet there. And then as you head in towards Texas, eastward towards Florida, it's going to be wet and cool. But as you head northward towards Ohio, you tend to experience drier conditions. And then you have a lot of warmth here in places like the northern plains. So that's opposite of a La Nina, because within a La Nina you tend to get cooler than normal conditions here, even sometimes brutally cold. But let's take a look at what that has for winter time, because that can be very interesting. And right here we have an El Nino winter, milder with less snow, and again wet for the southeast and for the southwest and for the west, and frigid air well north. So they're typically milder winters, but again you can have like your winter of 2009, 2010, where you had a lot of. Let's take a look at that. That winter, we had a lot of snow in the Northeast and Mid Atlantic regions. So I'm gonna take a look. Let's do a little history lesson. Let's kind of take a look at our PSD Daily site. Great site. I recommend it for looking at past weather occurrences. We're going to take a look at our geopotential height for the winter of 2009, 2010. So we're going to take a look at that. And we're going to compare it with this winter. Well, let's take a look at that. What happened? That was an El Nino winter, but of course this winter was a La Nina. But as you can see, just a brutal look to the winter. I mean, this is mega historic. I mean, a lot of people called it Snowmageddon, so it was a historic winter for many in the Mid Atlantic. But as you can see, we have a classic negative NAO with a big block there in the North Pole, a big high pressure, which suppresses a lot of colder air farther south into the USA, just how it works. And again, you get your little trough there off the west coast of North America, and that provides a pretty precipitable jet stream to hit the western USA, and then you get your southern jet stream activated, as I just showed you. For your summer outlook, you have that southern jet stream activated. Well, it's kind of the same in winter, as you can see from this winter. And then if you get a good setup like this winter, you have a lot of storms riding along the east coast, providing you with your mega snows. So Let's take a look at how that compares with this winter. And we're going to take a look at the winter of this past year, 2022, 2023. And we're going to take a look at that. And as you can see, major differences. This was mainly a western half of the U.S. winter, not a very mega winter like that one. But of course, if you're in the western half of the USA, you did get some record amounts of snow there in the western mountains. I can't recall the exact mountain, but one mountain in California had over 600 inches of snow. So a lot of action going on there. And then again, we had just a very warm east. And NOAA got their outlook a little bit wrong because they predicted the coldest air to be up in the northern plains like North Dakota and South Dakota, those areas. And that's not how it happened. It happened that it was a primarily western winter. So let's take a look at, last but not least, our NAO. And again, our NAO is a big contributor to the weather pattern this year because it's most active between February 15th to April 15th. And we're now March 19th, so we're right in the middle, smack dab of that. And right now, it's forecast us to go negative in the next 2 weeks. So it's really looking that it will provide more cold and snow for the eastern half of the USA. So I also want to look at our GFS snowfall output. You can't leave that out for a fun update. Let's take a look at that for our eastern half of the USA outlook. Let's take a look at this. So we're just going to kind of go through the next 15 days of snowfall, and here we go. Of course, we're going into voodoo land when you go this far out, but again, anywhere in the Midwest is a big jackpot area, and in the Northeast, as you can see, areas of 22 inches up to 15 to 20 inches. And again, this would occur in many waves of snow, not just one system, but mainly around the March 30th time frame. So all right, that is it, and I just wanted to show you guys what's going on in the weather world right now. And again, we have that El Nino coming on, so make sure you share my updates if you want for more long-range weather content. And I'm looking forward to this journey with you to see what happens in the weather world in the days to come, in the months to come. Take care.